Hi, welcome to part two for my video series. Last time, on the last video, we discussed basically the power of powerful mindset for body transformation and achieving optimal body composition. So today we're going to talk about nutrition for body transformation and achieving optimal body composition. So yes, fat loss is a big part of the transformation journey, and it needs to be happening. But the other thing that needs to happen when we talk about body composition and body transformation, in order to reach our full potential, our full human potential, and then improve the way we look and also improve our health, is muscle build. So we're gonna have to adopt a diet that's gonna help us to shift body fat as fast as possible, but in the same time allow us to train and build up as much muscle as possible whilst we're on the fat loss diet, and at the same time and strength. Because why? Because fat loss and the muscle build are intimately correlated. You cannot separate them. So therefore, our diet for fat loss has to be specifically designed that it's not focusing on calorie restrictions, rather than managing hormones like insulin, cortisol, and estrogen. So by managing those hormones, you ultimately push the good hormones up, like testosterone, growth hormone, IGF-1. It sounds really complicated, but reality is it's a very easy way to tackle this. Just applying a few rules. So the diet doesn't have to be calorie restrictive, in reality, it mustn't be calorie restrictive. But rather than focusing on good quality food, good quality protein, good quality fats, lots of vegetables, cruciferous vegetables preferably, and deciding how much and when to put the carbohydrates, the starchy carbohydrates, really the good stuff. So the basis of the diet is basically good protein, good fats, and lots of vegetables. Sounds simple, yeah? Why people don't do it? I don't know. Beat me to that. It's very simple. So where do we start? First of all, you have to think about the word diet. This is where the eating, the nutrition, and the mindset start basically crossing each other. So you have to understand the diet itself. It doesn't. It makes people scream, and then in fact actually makes me scream. Thinking about restriction, thinking about suffering. Like in pain, lack of loss of pleasure. To extent, yes, we have to sacrifice a few things, but the best thing to think about diet is a lifestyle changes. So when you think about diet, is the worst thing people associate diet is with something that we do temporarily until we achieve the goal we want to achieve, which is basically fat loss, and then psychologically, we want to go back to our normal lifestyle and the normal eating habits, which in the first place were got us to where we want to be, to where we are at the moment. So we have a problem, So reality is you have to think about changing your diet. Changing your diet is basically adopting new lifestyle habits that's going to stay forever. And then you're going to create those habits as rituals. Rituals are stronger than habits, meaning like if you wake up in the morning, you have to brush your teeth no matter what's happening. That's how the things that you basically change in your lifestyle need to become so strong, so powerful, like habits like that, they're almost rituals. So I'm going to give a few tips, basically to start your journey. The first thing is water. Crazy, huh? Like you never heard that. Oh, why, coach? We're talking about water. We all know that. Yes, but no. So you understand the water. The water is the only substance that we use in order to detoxify our bodies. Now, you can use other programs and stuff like that, but on a daily basis, that's what we use to cleanse our body. And the funny thing is, the water, the tap water that we drink, the bottled water that we drink every day from the system is actually very toxic. You can go and Google, I challenge you, go and Google on YouTube, on Google, tap water and toxicity, tap water and fluoride. Fluoride is really bad compound that is, for some reason, I don't want to get into conspiracy theories, but it's in the water. This fluoride can dysregulate your thyroid, dysregulate your metabolism, can affect your brain. It really slows down all bodily functions in the body, like from brain down to glands to productivity, everything. It's just dims your cognitive function down. So, and then let alone in UK, all the water is contaminated with antibiotics, contraceptives, and funny enough, the system cannot cleanse that because it's part of the it's part of the makeup of the water. You can only filter big compounds, like big particles, but you cannot change the chemistry of the water. So if you think like Brita filter is gonna save you, no. So now suddenly the water is a complicated thing, and I'm telling you, don't drink the tap water. Don't drink the tap water from, if you're in any of the Western countries. It's probably contaminated and it's got fluoride, chloride, antibiotics, other substances that basically go in the system with all the wastage that we throw in. So what do we do then? Obviously, drinking from a plastic bottle is also not ideal. It's not environmentally friendly, but there are brands there that are good, and it's worth mentioning. So I think Ashbeck from if you're in the UK, and Fiji. Obviously, Fiji is very expensive, but I think the most effective way is to buy a water distiller. You go to a website called Make Water Pure. And I buy a good water distiller that comes in 4 liters, bucket, pot, and then you basically convert any water into a good quality water. So now the distilled water now, it's empty. There's got no minerals or whatsoever. So now the only thing that you have to do is put some charge of electrolytes into the water, so it make it good for your body. So the one thing that you can solve this is very easy. You get the good Himalayan pink salt, put a teaspoon into a liter of water, mix it, and then you have a pure clean water with a little bit salt in there for your sodium, for your magnesium, for your phosphorus, and then the pink salt's got all the range of minerals that your body needs. Okay, so the next step is, once you sort out your water, the next step is your breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal, and everyone knows that, but no one really talk about what exactly should have for breakfast. Okay, so now if you're watching this video, you're probably carrying a bit extra weight, so you're interested in losing a few pounds, getting in shape. So now that means you are dealing with insulin resistance to an extent, meaning like you cannot utilize carbohydrates the same way that lean people can utilize. So it's very important to start the day with high protein, high fat breakfast. So what do you eat then? Well, this is where I'm going to challenge you, for the morning, for example, I will have like a nice piece of burger or smoked salmon with a few nuts and avocado. And then that will keep our blood sugar steady throughout the day, give you enough energy, and then feed our brain. You have to understand, early in the morning, we need dopamine, acetylcholine. These are 2 neurotransmitters that are important for productivity, focus, willpower. So, and they come from high fat and high protein. Protein though, no drinks. It need to be like a good quality fat, good quality protein, dietary protein from either fish or meat, preferably grass-fed or wild fish. So, adopting these 2 steps, getting clean water and then getting the right breakfast, you're already 70% there. Because once you start the day the right way, then most likely you're going to finish it the right way. Once you spike your insulin and blood sugar levels early in the morning, then it's very, very hard to bring it back down for the rest of the day. And then I'm telling you right now, your fat loss gains for the day are gone. Once you get the breakfast wrong, it's finished. So these are two, and then obviously the water is a long-term approach to fat loss, not just for fat loss, but for overall wellness. So you want to basically make sure that you allow the body to cleanse for any estrogen, any toxins that you've been taking over the years. Yeah. So what's next? I would really like put down in one sentence when it comes to fat loss, and then body composition. It's basically, we save you endless hours of reading about nutrition. Here we go. If it doesn't fly, walk, run, and if it's not vegetable, do not eat it when it comes to body transformation. That's right. Okay. So what that stands for, you gotta be like fish, meat, a vegetable. Very easy. Lunch and dinner. And then the next thing that you need to take care of is a good quality fats for every meal, for your lunch and for dinner. So good quality fats are very important for hormonal production, for a good quality cholesterol. They're very important for switching on the fat burning enzymes, and then switching off the fat storing enzymes. Yes, good quality fat makes you lose weight quicker. So what are good quality fats? So for cooking, we have ghee, organic grass-fed ghee, coconut oil, avocado oil can be used for cooking. So these are stable fats, they're more saturated fats. So they're very good for cooking. You can still have them in their raw form, that's no problem. But when it comes to cooking, you have to use those. Then for cold dressings and basically other dressings, you can use extra virgin olive oil, hemp oil, macadamia oil, walnut oil. All these things are very good, but they're not very stable at high temperature, so you're gonna have to make sure that only use it for dressings. And then now the obvious question now is, I know, where's the snacking? From my experience, this is one thing that you're gonna have to accept as changing the way you live your life. Remember from the first video, the mindset, you have to live your life differently from lean people. Every time, snacking is not a good idea in general. If you carry extra body fat, and then if you overweight and seeking to lose body fat. And snacking is such a bad habit in the Western world. It spikes your insulin, and then this notion about having meals every 3 hours, there's no actually scientific support. It's not proven that every 3 hours meals help you increase your metabolism. Actually, it's quite the opposite. Best thing to do is let the body rest, and especially the digestive system rest after a meal for a few hours before you have the next meal. This means it improve the enzyme production, increases insulin sensitivity in the body, allows basically the body to detoxify and then cover other bodily functions that needs to happen throughout the day, like detox, brain function, heart, heal different organs. What I'm trying to say is that digesting food requires a lot of energy. So now if you constantly pumping things inside your system, then you're slowing down all other processes inside the body, including fat loss as well. So so then the next obvious question, and then the other thing that people want to know, and when can I have the carbs, the starchy carbohydrates? I would say, do this for about 14 days, and then on day number 15, you can have a carbohydrate a meal where you would have a good quality carbohydrates, to basically replenish your glycogens. And that would be like anything like sweet potato, wild rice. I'll stay with anything processed like pasta, couscous, bread, anything that basically can irritate your digestive system, staying away from gluten and dairy. You can slowly introduce things back in your diet, but this requires close monitoring, and I'll be doing more posts about that. So for now, try this for a few days and let me know what you think. And stay tuned for my next video when I'm gonna take you to the gym, and then things gonna get a little bit sweaty. Yeah. See you soon. Thank you very much for your time.